Global War 36 enthusiast here with Operation Regimental Combat Team. Turn 9.5, Commonwealth. It is July 1940. The Commonwealth has 2 tech rules. First, I tried for anti-submarine warfare at a 7 or higher. PB generated an 11, so I succeeded and I advanced to stage 3. Second, I tried for advanced or anti-submarine warfare at a 7 or higher. PB generated a 9, so I succeeded and advanced to stage 2. Let's go to purchases. Hopefully this is still recording. It had a little message popped up, but I couldn't read it, so I'm really terrified that I screwed up my sound again. No, I think everything's working. Okay, I have 22 IPP to spend. I will upgrade a militia to an infantry for 2, purchase a militia for 2, that's 4, 1 colonial infantry for 4, that's 8, 1 fighter for 10. I don't have my fighter out, do I? Let's get that. 1 fighter for 10. I think we're up to 18. And then I'm going to complete construction of the light carrier for 4. That's 22. FEC has 16 to spend. They will purchase 1 colonial infantry for 4, 2 Gurkhas for 8, that's 12, and 1 anti-aircraft artillery for 4, that brings me to 16. Anzac has 7 IPP to spend. I'll purchase 1 militia for 2 and an anti-aircraft artillery for 4, that's 6, and I will save 1 IPP. Previewing the Free French, they have 3 IPP to spend. Is that right? For some reason I have 4. But that can't be right? Because didn't Vichy take... I think I've messed up. I think I have 3. If I have 4, I would like to purchase a foreign legion, but I think I only have 3. So I will purchase 1 militia and save 1. Just by the way, I want to apologize for I was on vacation, so we're still playing Regimental Combat Team, and I'm excited to get back to the game. I really appreciate my friends and opponents being so gracious about being gone here. So let's go to combat. From East Poland, I'm going to bring 5 infantry to Bessarabia. There's no terrain, no river, it's just 5 infantry at 2 versus 1 infantry at 4. So that'll be 1 combat that we do. Next, I'm going to have this seaplane in Lower Egypt will fly 2. It has a map range of 2, so it'll fly here to I-4, 1 to I-5, 2 to I-4, and go on map in I-4 to try to hit the German submarine. I did ask Hambone. He could do a really interesting thing where he would wait until I completed all my combat movement, and then he could decide with the Italians to declare war on me and scramble that fighter out to try to hit me, but he doesn't want to do that. But I did reach out to him about that. Let's see. And then I've got some movement that I'm making during the combat movement phase because potentially Italy could declare war. Hambone, I'm sorry that I didn't type all these moves out and reach out to you about what I'm doing here, but if you do decide, I don't think you're going to declare war with Italy or choose to engage with the Germans, but if you do, we'll just PPE it. So from the south side of Lower Egypt, the Anzac destroyer will leave port to sea zone I-5, and then it will move 1 space to M8. From sea zone M8, 1 naval transport that's already there in the sea zone will pick up 1 Marine. From the northern side of Lower Egypt, 1 heavy cruiser will leave port and join up here. And Also from there, the Anzac naval transport is going to leave port. Okay. Let's see if we can make this a little bit tidier. Goodness gracious. Okay, so the two heavy cruisers are staying there in port on the northern side of Lower Egypt. The two transports, one is an Anzac, one is a British, and then this naval transport, or this naval task force, consisting of a battleship, 3 heavy cruisers, 2 British light cruisers, 1 Anzac light cruiser, 4 British destroyers, 1 Anzac destroyer, and 1 British torpedo boat destroyer. They are going to move here into M4. There's no way the Italians are going to want to declare war with their destroyer. Then they're going to move here into M2. I don't think this little Italian fleet is going to want to engage. You know, this fleet's not going to want to engage that fleet, so I don't think Italy's going to declare war. And then that force will move into A44 here. Now, I don't think the Italians are going to want to declare war, and the German subs are going to want to engage that fleet. But if they do, we can PBE it. So that fleet will be here. Plus I got those 2 naval transports, 1 British, 1 Anzac. Will be there in A44. And they're carrying 1 Marine. All right. Yeah, okay. I think that's all my combat movement. Let me just double check. Oh no. Then I also have these guys, this entire task force that's in A27, consisting of a light carrier, a tactical bomber, and 3 destroyers. That task force will move down to A44 as well. I have to compliment Hambone on his, and Sarge's shell hole on their play. They're pressuring me so much. Sorry about that. I moved that task force down to A44. That is in A44. Okay. Okay, up here in southern England, a naval transport will leave port to A21 carrying an infantry and an anti-aircraft artillery. Okay. It's going to move down to A44. So again, there is the potential for the Italian declaration of war, and the German subs could choose to engage in 1 round of combat. If they do want to do that, we can PBE that. But I really don't think he's going to want to do that. All right, so I hope that wasn't too complicated for my opponents. Is there anything else that I have on the two, let's see. All 3 of those transports are going to go in port in Gibraltar and drop off all their units in Gibraltar, which is an infantry, a marine, and an anti-aircraft artillery. That means there's 4 total transports there, but one of them hasn't moved. Let's chip that out. This Marine turns into a got a 3rd Marine there in Gibraltar. So got 1 militia, 2 infantry, 3 Marines, 1 anti-aircraft artillery, and 4 total transports in port there. Okay. I think that's everything as far as combat, and all I have to roll is just the 1 shot at a 3 with this seaplane. Seaplane against a German sub. Sure would be nice to kill that sub in whatever. Nope, 11. Well, I'm rolling high, given how badly I was doing as far as tech. That seaplane is just going to go back and land in Lower Egypt. All right, that's the end of my combat. What else is on the to-do list? Non-combat movement. Up in Northern Ireland, I've got this naval transport. It's going to leave port to Sea Zone A17 and then move over to London and go in port in London. It'll go over to Sea Zone A22 and go in port. All right, in Sea Zone M. Ooh, I don't want to do that. Okay, never mind. I do want to do this move, but I'm going to move some subs out of there. These two subs from M23 are going to move to Sea Zone A28. Hang out in Sea Zone A28. There we go. All right. Let's see. From London, we'll have the 2 infantry and the anti-aircraft artillery will move over to southern England. Let me chip that out. Tricky with these. This many units jammed in here. If I was planning ahead, I'd have my task force markers. So I've got 5 militia, 2 infantry, 1 airborne, and 2 anti-aircraft artillery. I'm going to have one of these fighters fly to London. So there's 2 fighters in London. There's a British fighter and a French fighter in southern England. And this fighter from A22 is going to come off map and land in southern England. So there's nothing in A22 right now. All right. So many vulnerabilities. I'm really nervous about dropping the ball somewhere. Okay, down here in A44, I'm also going to want 1 battleship to go in port in Gibraltar. And then this naval transport that started in port in Gibraltar is going to leave to M2 carrying an infantry. So that's the infantry that started there, not the infantry that was carried. Moved there from southern England, but the infantry that started in Gibraltar is going to move. And it will strategic naval move to Lower Egypt. So it's 1 to M3, 2 to M6, 3 to M7, 4 to M8, go in port in the northern side of Lower Egypt, along with the 2 heavy cruisers. So that's going to bring me up to 12 infantry there in Lower Egypt. And we might as well just do this while we got it down there. We're going to do a militia upgrade militia. So that's 1 more infantry. And then we're going to do a colonial infantry there. So the net effect there is that it's going to be 14 infantry there in Lower Egypt. All right. Sorry, I've lost track of where I am. Let's see. Okay, strategic naval move. Yep, now we got some Indian movement. From Benares, 1 of these FEC infantry is going to move into Calcutta. So that'll bring me up to 8 FEC infantry in Calcutta. All right, and from Calcutta, 1 FEC anti-aircraft artillery is going to move up to Benares. And then I'm going to end up placing 2 Gurkhas in Benares. I'm going to place 1 colonial infantry in Calcutta and 1 anti-aircraft artillery in Calcutta. So that's going to bring me up to 3 FEC anti-aircraft artillery in Calcutta. And let's see, what would that be? 9 FEC infantry in Calcutta. Whoops, sorry, that wasn't on camera. 9 FEC infantry. All right. Then Anzac, I'm going to put... I forgot a combat or a non-combat move. I am going to have this torpedo boat destroyer from... Oh, and I didn't do my combat of... God, I'm totally screwing this up. Sorry, guys. I have to do the combat in Bessarabia. I forgot about that. This torpedo boat destroyer is going to move down to M4 and go in port in Malta. All right, let's do the combat in Bessarabia. All right, so I've got 5 at 2 versus 1 at 4. Hit. And he's got 1 at 4. Yes. Okay. So I take Bessarabia with 5 infantry. Not a very good job filming this turn. Went to bed at 12:45, got up at 6:30, and I'm old. I can't do that. So I have Great Britain at 29 and Germany at 50, and I'm taking off the Romania bonus income. All right, now let's see here. Let's go over to Great Britain. I'm going to put another fighter here in southern England. No, I'm sorry, in London. The fighter's going in London. 3rd fighter there in London. And a light carrier is going to go in port in London. And I already did the militia upgrade militia and the colonial infantry in Lower Egypt. So we're good there. The only other placement of units is down here for the Anzac. In Sydney, I'm going to add an anti-aircraft artillery. And in New South Wales, I am going to put a militia. So anti-aircraft artillery there in Sydney, militia there in New South Wales. Okay, collect income. So, recruitment roll for Finland. It's a 1. I'd have to roll a 1. Let's see, I'm PBEing it, and PBE generated a 7. Another high roll. Hallelujah. All right, collect income. So Anzac is at 7. So they end the turn with 7. FEC is at 14, but they get their 2 bonus income. So they end the turn with 16. Great Britain is at 29. They collect 5 bonus income. So they end the turn at 34. All right. France's turn. This should be a bit faster. We already talked about buying one militia. I do have a couple combat movements. Oh God. I hope this is still recording. Yeah, it looks like it's still recording. God, total fiasco. The Free French fighter is going to leave southern England and go on map in C zone A23 or A22. That is. All right. And then down here, I'm going to go for an attack. This is another situation, Hambone. If you want to, you could declare war. I'm going to fly out here on map. Italy can declare war. And actually, if you time it right, no, it's not even a matter of timing. The British cannot be involved. I can bring the French medium bomber out on map. If you declare war on me, the British cannot be involved. You'll just decimate me. So let me know if you want to do that. I think that's it for my combat movement, those two. So if you don't do it, then we'll have one roll at 7. So what you might want to do, Hambone, is at this moment stop your video and decide if you want to declare war or not, and that way you don't know, what I'm rolling. So here we go. I'm going to roll. And I do hit one of the subs if you don't declare war. Well, now that I think about it, no matter what, I would get to roll. So, and it's a target select. So, that's interesting. So I would choose, if you do declare war with the Italians, I guess I'm going to take out your heavy cruiser. It's not, God, I'm so sorry, you guys. It's not a tactical bomber. Oh, I'm just filming a horrible turn. It's probably going to be a sub no matter what. I guess you could choose the Italian sub. You'll get to choose if you do go to war. All right, let's do some non-combat movement. I've got 2. One is this mechanized infantry is going to go to Belgian Congo. And the other is this submarine. Oh, I forgot to move this British coastal sub. I hope that's okay. I want to move it through the canal over here to I-5. This submarine is going to move up here to M9. He moved his seaplane, and so he can hit this sea zone here. All right, that's all my movement. I will place the militia in Syria. So I got 2 militia in Syria now. And I saved 1. I collect 3. So I do end the turn with 4. Yeah, I don't think I did have 4. I think it was 3 with the French, but I was leaving on vacation. I don't think I quite had that correct. All right. Disposition. Is that right? Collect income. Yep, disposition. Let's start up here. We've got 2 submarines in A28. In M23 is a task force card, and it's this task force here, which consists of a light carrier with a fighter, a battle cruiser, 2 coastal defense ships, 1 destroyer, 2 torpedo boat destroyers. In northern England, 1 militia. In London, in port, a French battleship, 2 battleships, a light carrier, and a naval transport. In London, 3 fighters. I need to get that other fighter kind of out of the sea zone so it's more clear. This fighter is actually here. 3 fighters in London. In southern England, 5 militia, 2 infantry, 1 airborne infantry, 2 anti-aircraft artillery, 2 fighters, naval transport. The French have a fighter on map in sea zone A22. Down here in sea zone A44, there is a light carrier with a tactical, 3 heavy cruisers, 2 British light cruisers, 1 Anzac light cruiser, 4 British destroyers, 1 Anzac destroyer, 1 British torpedo boat destroyer. Oh, also there's 3 more destroyers, so a total of 7 British destroyers there. In port in Gibraltar, a battleship, 2 British naval transports, 1 Anzac naval transport. In Gibraltar, 1 militia, 1 infantry, 3 marines, 1 anti-aircraft artillery, and the French medium bomber goes back to land. Sorry, I didn't clarify that, if it lived. In Malta, a militia and a torpedo boat destroyer in port. In Cyprus, a militia. In Sea Zone M9, a French submarine. In Syria, 2 French militia. In Lower Egypt, 1 militia, 14, is that right? Did I say 14 infantry, 1 mountain infantry, a half-constructed fortification that's on the border with Western Egypt, 3 anti-aircraft artillery, and a seaplane. In Sea Zone I-5 is the coastal submarine. In Aden is a militia. In Kuwait, a militia. In Belgian Congo, a militia, a British militia, and a French mechanized infantry. In Cape Town is a militia, 2 infantry. In South Africa, 2 infantry, a cavalry. Madagascar has a militia. In Maharashtra, 1 militia. In southern India, 1 militia. In Ceylon, 1 militia. In Bengal, 1 militia. In Benares, 1 militia, 1 FAC infantry, 2 Gurkhas, 2 FAC anti-aircraft artillery, 1 medium bomber. In Calcutta, 3 militia, a fortification, and 2 British infantry, 9 FEC infantry, 2 Anzac infantry, 1 Gurkha, 2 Anzac artillery, 2 British anti-aircraft artillery, 3 FEC anti-aircraft artillery. In British Malaya, a militia. In Hong Kong, an infantry. In Sarawak, a militia. In just North and South Island, a little bit off camera, there's a militia. In Queensland, a militia. New South Wales, a militia. Sydney, 3 militia, 4 infantry, a motorized, and an anti-aircraft artillery. I believe that is it. Next up is Hambone with turn 9.7, Italy.